Next we got how the Kansas City Chiefs built a dynasty. Now, it is kind of crazy they did build a dynasty. Like, we can't even say it on cap, bro. Sam, you can't even say it on cap. Last dynasty will. What do you really call a dynasty, though? We call somebody like the coach and the players, or is that what forms a dynasty, or is it how much that team wins, how much that organization wins? Like, what is the real definition for a dynasty? But I'm thinking like this organization winning and stuff like that, especially with the coaches and the players. So if we're going by them terms, last dynasty we really know is the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's crazy how the Patriots was no one can stop the Patriots. Now it's like now it's the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So hey, hit the like button and subscribe button if you want more Chiefs videos. Let's just hop into it.
With Alex Smith to winning their third Super Bowl in 5 years and becoming the first team to win back-to-back since 2004. The Kansas City Chiefs are officially a dynasty, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. But how did all this happen, and why was trading up in the 2017 NFL Draft the greatest decision in franchise history? After a 2016 season that saw an aging Alex Smith lead the Chiefs to a 12-4 regular season and another early playoff.
Ref donated $4. If you watching this on YouTube, come to CT's Twitch, Almighty YCT.
Yes, sir. W refs in the chat, man. Refs is the GOAT. W refs. Yes, sir.
There was a lot of frustration with the state of the team. He had just earned the second Pro Bowl nod of his career at 33 years old, and although he wasn't putting up mind-boggling stats, he certainly wasn't holding the team back. As Andy Reid and the Chiefs were gearing up for the 2017 season, they found themselves buried deep in the first round of the draft at pick 27. And while many analysts projected GM Brett Veach to take a corner or receiver with their top pick, which would fill holes on their roster so they could win now, that's not what he had in mind. Instead, the organization had their eyes on Texas Tech quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who wasn't expected to be selected early on draft day. But after studying his tape, Andy Reid fell in love with his playmaking gunslinger ability that reminded him of a quarterback he coached in Green Bay, Brett Favre. So when the Bears selected Mitchell Trubisky second overall, both the Texans and Cardinals were looking to draft a signal caller as well. The Chiefs got wind of this and traded up to number 10 overall in order to cut them off and take their quarterback of the future. Although they didn't know it yet, this move would soon prove to be the best decision the franchise has ever made. But the future would have to wait. The Chiefs were still a good team, and Alex Smith was still a good quarterback with 2 years left on his contract.
Like Travis Kelce.
Andy Reid opted for Mahomes to sit for a year and learn behind the veteran. Despite Smith improving on his numbers from the previous year and earning another Pro Bowl, Kansas City regressed, this time going 10-6 before falling to the Tennessee Titans in the wild card round.
I ain't gonna lie, when the Chiefs had what's his name, Alex Smith, when he had him on the team, bro, like I'm just looking at this highlight.
Time going,
it's just like
before
they didn't scare you, bro. The Chiefs didn't scare you. And then before that, when the Chiefs scared you is when they had Jamal Charles. Now that was a scary sight. I ain't gonna lie. And I ain't gonna lie, around that time I really did like Jamal Charles too. But after that though, I think this is after he left. The Chiefs wasn't scary, bro, especially just quarterback. I think honestly what starts the offense, and which honestly is kind of already facts. Everybody kind of know it. But it starts with the quarterback, bro. If you have a mid quarterback, bro, your team gonna be ass. I'm just be honest. Your quarterback has to be a GOAT, and then you add the GOAT puzzle piece, bam, and then you add GOATs around him. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't
falling
it,
to the Tennessee Titans in the wild card round after leading 21-3 at the half. They did, however, start Patrick in the final game of the regular season, and he obviously did enough to prove that he was ready to take the reins as the team ended the Alex Smith era by trading him to the Washington Redskins shortly after their playoff defeat. At the start of the 2018 season, the Chiefs faced off against the division rival Los Angeles Chargers, led by future Hall of Fame quarterback Phillip Rivers with a new unproven quarterback. This would be the first real glimpse into where the franchise was headed, and it went better than anyone had ever imagined. After a quick Chiefs stop, wide receiver Tyreek Hill took the Bolts punt all the way back to the crib to open the scoring. Mahomes proceeded to complete 15 of 27 passes for 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, torching Rivers and the Chargers in a 38-28 victory. It was clear on day one that the league was not ready for Patrick Mahomes. So much so that in week 2, they played the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by another future Hall of Famer and Ben Roethlisberger.
Big
In
Ben.
just his third career start, Mahomes outdueled a second all-time great in as many weeks. The Chiefs prevailed 42-37 in a game where he threw 6 touchdown passes. Mahomes may have had a better start to his de facto rookie season than any quarterback ever, and it was by no means a fluke. For the rest of the season, his play didn't slow down, throwing for over 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns en route to winning the MVP award in a complete landslide. The Chiefs went 12-4, earning a first-round bye, and ultimately landed themselves in the AFC Championship game against none other than the Tom Brady-led New England Patriots. And of course, Patrick Mahomes showed up to play. In this game, the Chiefs fought hard in what was a back-and-forth game, even owning a 28-24.
Oh, also too, we're gonna start doing the GOAT reactions. All right. I've been slacking. Like I know. I've been slacking. We started last year, but I stopped. But we're gonna start it back up. All right. So this summer, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be doing it, or just the whole offseason. We're gonna be doing the GOAT reactions. All the OG GOAT players. They reminded me because I remember I had reacted to Gronk highlights. So we're gonna have the GOAT. We're gonna have all the GOATs, all the OG GOATs.
Game. Even owning a 28-24 lead with just over 2 minutes left to play. But both offenses were cooking, and the Patriots were able to quickly punch in another touchdown with less than 40 seconds left. Kansas City just wouldn't die though, and led a 30-second field goal drive to tie the game and send it to overtime. With the last 5 possessions from either team resulting in points, the entire world knew that whoever won that overtime coin toss would end up punching their ticket to the Super Bowl. And just like that, Brady and the Patriots won the toss, and Mahomes would never see the ball again. Tom Brady, of course, will go on to win his final Super Bowl with the Patriots, while Mahomes was presumably sitting at home thinking about what could have been. But despite the way his first season ended, the Chiefs made it very clear that they had their eyes on a Super Bowl in the coming seasons. 2018 saw the evolution of Tyreek Hill into one of the elite receivers in the NFL, and a career year for Travis Kelce, of course. Both players combined for almost 3,000 receiving yards and each notched their second first-team All-Pro seasons. Although Tyreek's first was as a kick returner, it turns out he can do a lot more than just field kicks. The story of how the Chiefs acquired Tyreek is actually quite interesting when they took a shot on him in the 5th round of the 2016 draft, putting their faith in a player who had faced many personal issues throughout his young life. John Dorsey and Andy Reid brought him to Kansas City and had to hold a press conference to calm down the fan base and community, assuring them the speedster wouldn't be causing any more trouble. The results were phenomenal. Hill matured and settled into life with the Chiefs and turned into an All-Pro in the process. Finding a wide receiver in the 5th round of the draft certainly helps when it comes to building a dynasty, and Hill might be one of the best value picks of all time. Entering the 2019 season, the Mahomesian era was officially underway, and teams were going to have to adapt to have a chance at stopping their elite offense. But whatever they did clearly didn't work, as the signal caller came out with a vengeance, throwing 10 touchdowns to 0 interceptions and nearly 1,200 yards in his first 3 games as the Chiefs rolled out 3-0
First 3 games? I think that's the whole fucking season. What? You threw 10 TDs in 3 games. Bro, did I hear that right, bro?
As the signal caller came out with a vengeance, throwing 10 touchdowns to 0 interceptions and nearly 1,200 yards in his first 3 games as the Chiefs rolled out to a 3-0 start. But after a couple down weeks, they sat at 4-2, heading into a Week 7 matchup against their division rival, Denver Broncos, a team they had dominated since the departure of Peyton Manning. It was the perfect get-right scenario for KC, but that would be too easy. Kansas City was up 13-6 with 10 minutes to play in the second quarter and were in great position to score. Facing 4th and 1 from Denver 5-yard line, Andy Reid caught a quarterback sneak, hoping to easily gain the yard and convert for a touchdown on the drive. As Mahomes lunged forward, he picked up the 2 yards while fully enclosed in the pileup, and as the body started to clear, it became immediately evident that he was in pain. In an interview with Jason and Travis Kelce on the New Heights podcast, Mahomes said, "I got the first down, and he fell on my knee. I remember being on the ground and just looking at it, and my kneecap was in the side of my calf. I didn't know what to do, so I just froze up. And the
I never knew this happened.
Reaction from every teammate that I have. I had dudes running 50 yards away from me, just running down to the other side of the field. At that moment, no one knew whether or not Mahomes would even see the field again in 2019 after suffering such a gruesome injury. But miraculously,
what was it called?
He would return just 3 weeks later for a Week 10 game against the Tennessee Titans, throwing for 446 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wait, is this why he like low key kind of slow now, or is he kind of slow because now he got even more injuries added on to this? Because I know he had like a couple ankle injuries and stuff like that, so I think it's all like racking up. Like, you know, it's a good thing that a quarterback can run and risk his body, but at the same time it's bad because he risking his body. You know what I'm saying? So eventually it's gonna happen, bro. Something gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's a rough sport, very physical sport.
I mean, what could possibly stop this man? Just 3 weeks ago, his knee looked badly damaged, but he got right back out there and balled out. The Chiefs were officially back on top of the AFC.
He is fast.
And a down year for the Patriots meant they would likely not have to worry about Brady again in the playoffs. They finished the regular season with 6 straight wins to lock up the #1 seed at 12-4, and a first-round bye in the playoffs yet again. In the divisional round, KC found themselves matched up against the 10-6 Houston Texans, led by Deshaun Watson, a rising star at the quarterback position who was selected just 2 picks behind Patrick himself. And if somehow you didn't believe in the Mahomes magic before this game, it was simply undeniable after this performance. Sloppy would be a generous way to describe how the Chiefs opened up their 2019 postseason. A slew of errors including a coverage bust that allowed a 50-yard Watson touchdown on the opening drive, a blocked punt return for a touchdown, a muffed punt at their own 5-yard line, and multiple drops by open receivers led to Andy Reid finding his squad down 24-0 just 4 minutes into the second quarter. Those 19 minutes of in-game time might be the worst stretch of any game in Chiefs history. The comeback will be difficult, but not impossible, when they quickly scored a touchdown. A Texans fake punt attempt then set them up with great field possession.
The Texans made it to the championship
and lowered the lead to just 10. Then a Texans kickoff fumble pinned them back deep once again, allowing another easy Kansas City touchdown. And now they ended what might have been their worst 19-minute stretch ever with their best 11-minute stretch, and managed to turn a 24-0 deficit into a 27-24 lead at the half. The remainder of the game was not even competitive, as the Texans were completely demoralized and the Chiefs blew them out of the water with a final score of 51-31. Few remembered that the Texans even had the lead. The following week, in their second AFC Championship game in 2 years, KC played another AFC South opponent in a rematch of their regular season loss to the Tennessee Titans. This time, Patrick Mahomes would get the better of Tennessee after a highlight reel 27-yard touchdown run sucked the life out of the Titans. The Kansas City Chiefs had earned their first trip to the Super Bowl in 50 years, facing the loaded San Francisco 49ers, who boasted talent such as George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and a young Brandon Ayuk. However, they didn't have Patrick Mahomes, nor a
young Brandon. Hold on, this before the dreads was in his face. Dang, this before the dreads was in his face. Why he looking like a baby even though he a grown ass man still though? He looked like he literally looked younger. That's actually funny, bro. Now his dreads all the way down here and shit.
Young Brandon Ayuk. However, they didn't have Patrick Mahomes, nor a quarterback who would take over a game like 15 could. It was an incredibly close game with several lead changes, but the Chiefs found themselves down 20-10 with just over 7 minutes to play. When it was needed most, Mahomes chucked up a prayer that seemed to hang in the air forever, but eventually it found its way to open Tyreek Hill 45 yards down the field at the San Francisco 20. And after a game-changing pass interference call on Tavarius Moore's coverage of Travis Kelce, he went right back to his favorite target, number 87, to cut the lead down to 3. A Chiefs stop led to another quick score, and that was all she wrote for the 49ers. The Big Three and Andy Reid secured their rings at long last, but everyone watching had a feeling it wouldn't be their final. The ring was 50 years in the making, but this was just the beginning. Following their Super Bowl victory, the Chiefs pinned Patrick Mahomes to a record-breaking 10-year, $450 million contract in the summer of 2020, which will be one of the most important decisions for the longevity of the franchise, having already locked up Hill and Kelce. Not only had they signed their franchise quarterback until 2030, but at a price that would still allow them to continue building the roster. The deal was 5 years longer than any other player in the league at the time, and this team wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. 2020 was a strange season without fans in the stands, but KC picked up right where they left off and rolled through teams all the way to another Super Bowl appearance. Andy Reid had built an elite coaching staff, backed by Eric Bieniemy on the offensive side and the forever underappreciated Steve Spagnuolo running the defense. Spagnuolo always seemed to show up with an elite game plan in the playoffs, and particularly in the recent years, has propped up the offense whenever they struggled to find a rhythm. The 2020 season Super Bowl would see Mahomes and the Chiefs face the GOAT Tom Brady in his first year in Tampa Bay. Brady was on a collision course with his 7th Super Bowl ring.
It's kind of, you really think about it, it's kind of insane how Tom Brady legit went to a whole brand new team and went back to Super Bowl. How the fuck, bro? How it's like, and you would think like, oh yeah, Tom Brady. You would try to say, oh yeah, he only sweep with a good team, blah blah blah. This proved it, bro. Cause what was the wide receiver core? I think it had Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and I think that's probably it. And then it had David. No. They have. I know they had David middle linebacker, but then they have a David running back. Cause I just seen a clip. You got it on here. Fuck it. Oh, you're right here. Oh, then never mind. Yeah, that's the linebacker. Never mind. Yeah. So he didn't even have. He really just had a couple receivers, bro. Like, you really don't even need that much. You don't need that much to win a Super Bowl, bro. If you really a GOAT, that's crazy.
Here in Tampa Bay, Brady was on a collision course with his 7th Super Bowl ring, and nobody was going to stop him. Although it was a rough loss, it was still another great year for the Chiefs. It showed them that they still had room to improve, specifically the offensive line. Their quarterback was pressured on over half of his dropbacks in the Super Bowl, which led Kansas City to trade for Orlando Brown Jr., draft standout center Creed Humphrey with their 2nd-round pick, and bring in Joe Thuney during free agency. After an offseason of rebuilding their offensive line, 2021 brought the Chiefs another successful season at 12-5, falling just short in the AFC Championship game to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Then in 2022, a year in which the Chiefs were written off after trading wide receiver Tyreek Hill, they answered the bell.
Damn, bro, let's just really be honest, yo. Look at this.
Chiefs were written off after trading.
Imagine. I thought this was a D lineman. Is this? No, he wore number 20. He ain't no goddamn D lineman. Does it really imagine being a running back? And they say being a running back is really like one of the hardest positions to play, because you're like especially if you're a down back, you try to get them 3-yard gains, 4-yard gains every play. You know what I'm saying? You run up the tackles and stuff like that. Hard-nosed football. If you're that type of running back, bro, you're getting tackled by 300-pound, 6'7" D lineman. You know what I'm saying? Right, like this is reminding me how it looked. Even though this looked crazy, and he not a D lineman. This is a regular, I think maybe a linebacker at most.
A year in which the Chiefs.
But like, bro, you really gotta be honest, bro. This shit is real shit, bro. Look at this.
They answered the bell. Critics wondered how Mahomes would fare without a superstar wideout, but the addition of Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdez-Scantling was enough, and the Chiefs flew to their 3rd Super Bowl appearance in 4 seasons. This time, the Chiefs franchise would truly open the door to a potential dynasty run, winning another Super Bowl title. They truly opened the door to a potential dynasty run, winning another Super Bowl title. They defeated the Philadelphia Eagles in a thriller, and Mahomes now had a 2nd ring in just 5 years as a professional.
It's hard.
He was officially ahead of the curve and had a roster around him that could seemingly keep winning for many years to come. Now in 2023, after struggling mightily on offense for most of the regular season, Mahomes had an offensive explosion in the playoffs and just won the big game in a rematch against the 49ers. The Chiefs being named back-to-back champions is how the game ended after being down 10-3 at the half. Patrick Mahomes started clicking and he led them to an overtime victory. A legendary performance that saw him total 400 yards and 2 touchdowns to demoralize the 49ers yet again.
He liked that word, demoralize.
Suggests that this is certainly not going to be their last appearance in the big game, but 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Chad, let me know. Do y'all think the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl next year? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can't take another Chiefs Super Bowl, bro. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. Next year, here we calling right now. Ravens, Lions. Next Super Bowl. Calling it out.
Confirms the Chiefs as
or Ravens Bills. I'm not Ravens Bills. Bills Lions.
Ever since
you know what I'm saying?
Took over, it's really easy to just give him all the credit. But if you remember, this team was pretty successful even before he arrived. Building a dynasty is not as simple as it seems. There are many moving parts that the average fan will never uncover. Brett Veach deserves so much credit for proactively addressing issues and hitting on talented players at positions of need time and time again. With guys like Creed Humphrey, L'Jarius Sneed, Rashee Rice, and Trent McDuffie all becoming perennial playmakers on the current roster. Steve Spagnuolo deserves so much credit for turning a bottom-of-the-league defense into the entire reason they made the playoffs at all in 2023. His creative blitz packages, confusing coverages, and stunts involving defensive backs caused even a two-time MVP in Lamar Jackson to fold under pressure. Not to mention how Andy Reid's creativity as a play caller has allowed the Chiefs to mold into whatever team they need
Kansas
to be
City
on
and Dallas. Hell no.
How many teams in the NFL can
Hell no. Hell no. Fuck no. What?
They need to be
Cowboys, hey, bruh.
as a play
Cowboys,
has
man.
allowed
Yeah.
the Chiefs to mold into whatever team they need to be on offense to succeed. How many teams in the NFL can trade away a player like Tyreek Hill and go win a Super Bowl the next season without really getting a replacement? When the passing game didn't work in 2023, Reid decided to lean on the defense and pound the rock with 7th-round running back Isaiah Pacheco down the stretch.
I feel like low-key, though, Pacheco is a good running back, but they low-key need another running back, bro. Let's be honest. Bro. I think they need that extra sauce. You know how we got Montgomery and then Jameer? Like, let's just imagine if we only had Montgomery. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'd be nice. But at the same time, Jameer just add that extra. You know what I'm saying? So if they got a fast, speedy running back, I mean, that'd be a little crazy little duo. I ain't gonna lie.
Culture that has pound the rock with
Pacheco nice though. He been nice.
Isaiah Pacheco down the stretch. The culture that has been established in KC is clearly infectious. Just ask Taylor Swift, who's been shown in the whole
God. I ain't gonna lie, Jackie Hard though.
See, it's clearly infectious.
Jackie Hard, let's be honest. Jackie Hard. What the fuck? So they not doing upside down crosses, they doing upside down logos. That is the same shit. I'm catching on to y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? They trying to show this devilism. I know, bro. Upside down logo. Why you got upside down logo, bro? You see next to her, Ice Spice had an upside down cross. Crazy.
Swift, who's been shown.
Okay, let me know if y'all want more videos by this dude. Just football, new up and coming channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a little subscribe, my guy. You feel me? Hey.